Yeah, like, just, you know,
I remember
raw expression,
that these
musically,
things,
don't know, it just speaks to us in a way
they
that
are difficult to
other
understand.
things, you know,
But
don't always as much, but
I'm already
it's
streaming
a big question, like
for
it
20
needs everything.
seconds.
Like, dig
Let's
deeper,
get it going.
like, in all ways, like, just making the best music possible. For us, you know, obviously, it's not even like we write a list of, like, the kinds of music. It's more like, it's just stuff we hear that we like, kind of comes out in us, you know, but as far as working, when we can hook something up, I think it will be special.
Computer?
Yeah, like,
Go live. Computer? We got a crown on today.
you know, yeah, like,
We got a crown on today.
yeah, like, obviously, you know,
Alright, I'm gonna get some of the clay that I had. I think I have clay in here.
yeah, like,
I'm running a little bit on low on clay. Not tomorrow, but the day after, I'm gonna get some new stuff cruising. Because if I don't,
yeah, like,
I'm gonna have nothing here in a little bit. All right. Wheel? Ah, not wheel.
yeah, like,
Wedging table? There we go.
yeah, like, obviously,
Alright.
just, you know,
I gotta take off my shoesies. I'm gonna go over here. I feel like y'all can see me a little bit better now. Now I'm not as transparent, so
yeah, like,
here I am. We're back again with another Pottery Demon video. We got 3 more pots coming at you guys today. And so I'm gonna get right into it here. I don't wanna spend too much time kind of messing around. I got my friend is staying with me for the next couple days, and so I got some cool stuff coming up. I'm gonna have pottery crossover with crocheting here in a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that for you guys. Maybe tomorrow or the next day, but we'll see. And then I might even have another friend coming to do double pottery video. So that stuff is cooking up here. So I'm always thinking about new ways to do stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get right over there. So I'll see you guys in a second. Green off. There we go.
yeah, like,
I gotta get my little shoesies on. My little shoesies. Turn that off. We're gonna wedge this up. Man, the desktop audio is really loud, huh? Y'all have to tell me how loud the desktop audio is. Because right now, to me, it looks like it's pretty loud. So we're gonna push it all the way up, but then we're gonna go over here. Whoa, I can hear myself, hold on. Chill. I was probably echoing really bad. Let me know if this works for you guys, because I think this will be kind of good. And turn this down just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. As people kind of come in here, hopefully they can help me fine tune the audio. I feel like that's the biggest problem is I can't really hear what the audio sounds like without people kind of telling me what it sounds like, obviously. Okay. So I'm wedging this up. There we go. There's number 2. Got this kind of rounded up here. And we got the 3rd one. And this clay, it feels really soft, so I gotta be a little bit more cautious with how I'm using it. I can kind of imagine that it's not gonna be as fun as my normal stoneware. So, even just the feeling of it feels like rubbery or like cheese. It kind of has this cheesy quality to it. Okay. Right over there. All right. All right. So here we go. Let me get right into it here. A little water. Wet that down. Wheel. Here we go. Push down. A bit of water right underneath. It was a major treat to watch you work. Oh. I wonder if you are the one who saw me at the museum. Thank you. I appreciate you. Again, like just watching. I feel like whenever stuff like that happens, I just like to throw. Here I am right at this base. Catch that clay. Don't. Right down to the bottom. Hammer fist right over top. Nice. All right, good. Hammer fist right on that top edge. Slowly pushing that down. Right out to the side. Nice. Thumb's going right down this middle part here. Fingers, right? Like a hook. Clawing right underneath. One day I will be one with the clay. Ah, we have another viewer too. Devin, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I can recognize that the panda icon anywhere. Lizzie said Ayo. I hope you're doing well too, Lizzie. Right to the bottom edge. Slowly pulling this up. Let me know if the audio, how the audio sounds. Is it too quiet, too loud? I'd appreciate some feedback in it because right now, yesterday I realized that it was way too loud. All right, so here we go. Camera B. Right down to the bottom here. I grab my knuckle right to this edge. I'm just slowly bringing this little bump up. Just right up to the top, very slowly. All right, this clay is acting different. It's not like a stoneware, so it's not gonna be too, the audio's fine? Okay, sweet. I tried something new. All right, another perfect audio, sweet. Yeah, I feel like yesterday my biggest problem was that the music, usually I just have the music getting recorded just through my microphone, right? So then I don't have to have two audio tracks. But I decided maybe sometimes it's nice to have the double audio track. And so now you can kind of get a clearer image of the music that I'm listening to right now. This is just a random playlist. The playlist said something like, when you find the perfect playlist or something, right? I get, like, I've trained my algorithm on my YouTube to just gift me random playlists now. It's so cool. So I just kind of like the idea of the YouTube algorithm is deciding what I listen to, right? Right to that top edge. Okay, we got one more pull after this. So we're gonna slowly collar this in here. Nice. Let's see. Camera A. All right. Pottery shelf. Sweet. Right to this bottom edge. Right to the bottom. Get this little bump. And take this bump all the way up. Right to the top. Beast mode. That's a cool angle. Which one? The wheel? Here, let me go to wheel. 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 So this way you can kind of see what this hand's doing. Sometimes I wish I had a better angle, but the top. Yeah, I can have that one. You know, I want to have it so it looks directly down. I usually have my head camera on too, but I feel kind of sketched out recently about the head camera, like giving me Whitewood Galaxy. Hello, how you doing? But I feel weird about the head camera, like transmitting like pixels to make an image through my head. I feel like that's kind of weird, you know? Okay, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay, here we go. Wipe the hands, twist this down. Okay, get ready to twist this out now. Right down. How's my back? Oh, you remembered? Oh my gosh, yeah, my back is so much better right now. Yeah, my back was destroyed from Frisbee. That was just terrible, but yeah, look, I can twist now. My back is all good. I feel like I'm at the age now where I just need like a couple days of recovery. You know, give me 2 days and I'll be back on my feet, right? But yeah, those 2 days where my back was hurting while I was throwing were just not fun at all. But yeah, I'm healed now. Thank you for asking. That was nice of you to remember that too. Right underneath this edge here. You see how I kind of carved that out? I'm going to go in for another pull. Right, there we go. Look at that. And if I'm looking at this one, I don't know why, but this one's calling tendrils to me. This one's calling some tendrils. So here, let's get cruising on this. One across. Out. Maybe we're going to do 3 tendrils here. Out. Okay. Right to this bottom edge, curlies up. Twist. Okay, here we go. Last one. Boom, 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 boom. All right, somebody asked, Burnt Cheeto. What a good name, yo. I really like that name. Burnt Cheeto asks, how long have you been doing pottery? I've been doing pottery. I've been touching clay for probably like 5.5, 6 years now, right? But I've been really doing pottery for maybe 3.5 years, right? Like really focusing on the wheel. I think when I started, I didn't really know I was going to do the wheel, but I feel like pottery is different than just working on the wheel. So yeah, I didn't start really taking it seriously until 3.5 years ago. I did this project. All right, hold on. Camera B. So here's the one for today, right now. Number 1, okay. We're gonna go to number 2. Camera A. Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. There we go. Yeah, but I didn't start until a little bit. Dang, I could never be that committed to something for so long. Good for you. Hey, yo, everything, you know, talent is just a pursued interest, right? And as long as you keep on, you know, going after it and getting after it, you know, you'll see results eventually. Everybody gets those results differently, right? But I challenge you to think about this, right? Who obtains more glory? The one who spent a year and then got it, or the one who spent 10 years and then got it, right? I don't think glory exists in the short term with little sacrifice. Glory only exists over long periods of time with a lot of sacrifice, right? And so I think for me, like one thing that I want to feel is I want to feel total glory, you know? So I'm just going to keep on at it until I get there. That's kind of where I find a lot of value in life. But yeah, don't you know, knock yourself down too much, right? Throwing can be addicting too. Yeah, I think especially in the digital age that we live in right now, there's something about, you know, we spend so much time online, right? And all that stuff, all that data fits in like a thumb drive the size of your finger, right? Your whole life could probably fit in on a couple thumb drives, your digital life, I mean. And so there's something about, said the guy with the paper crown. Yeah, isn't that so funny? It's like a little plastic crown. I think it's really like a funny little joke. But yeah, like there's something cool about how our lives, like the ceramics, right, take up hours and time, and they channel them within a vessel, right? So you ask me, like, maybe like these vessels, you know, they're not really functional, right? But they hold the time and the effort that I give it, right? That's what they hold. You know, they might not hold flowers and water, but they hold something really meaningful and tangible, where I think other facets of my life that exist online for a majority of it, right? I'm a gamer boy. You know, that stuff just exists as ones and zeros. It's not really tangible. And so I think that there is something addicting about pottery. And I think it has to do with how it manifests itself in a physical space, right? Bring this out. Okay, here we go. Camera B. Right down to the bottom here. Finger right at this edge, and it's a little bit off center, but we're not going to worry about it. We're going to cut right across that bottom no matter what. And it's not fully centered too, and so I feel like I'm hitting some hard clay. Or do you hear that? I have some air bubbles. Wow. Okay, this is really off centered, y'all. But we're just going to keep on rolling with it, right? Okay, so this one's gonna be tough to work with, y'all. I can already feel this one. This one's gonna be not fun. It's not gonna be our friend. So we gotta go slow. You don't want air bubbles. Oh wait, wow, there's a lot of people. You should totally be a motivational speaker. That's so funny. Thanks, Burnt Cheeto. But I'm not there yet. Maybe one day. Just not yet. And then somebody said, you should get a teaching degree. Later, man. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think if I was to go to school again, it'd be a little bit too much. You know, I teach classes right now, but, you know, it's just different. It's not really about life stuff, really. You don't want air bubbles or exploding a kiln. That's one of the biggest pottery myths. I still believe that, you know, air bubbles are kind of the biggest pottery myth in our day and age. All right. So you see how that bottom is getting all nice and twisted up? So I can't pull on that too much right now. Man, so I gotta be careful there. The school system is going downhill. I just think the biggest thing with the school system, you know, is I think you just have a lot of people who aren't passionate, right? You have art teachers who aren't passionate about the things that they're teaching, right? I think what you really need in the school system is passionate makers, right? People who really just like want to make the things, and then students who can be around those people who want to make the things. So it's getting really wonky, but finish off this pole. And so that's where that air bubble really kind of messed us up there, but that's okay, because we're just going to go right over top of that. Cut right through that bump. Don't let it freak you out. Right, and look at that. Kind of keep that twist there. Don't go too much. Okay, hands right on the inside here. Okay, there we go. Look at that twist. That thing is tight. Interesting. You know, somebody said agreed. I think you're talking about the school system comment. Yeah, you know, I talked to my friends who are teachers, and some of them, they just don't even want to be there, right? And so I think too, you gotta incentivize people like hardcore makers and people who are really passionate. They're not gonna want to go teach people, right, if they're not gonna get some sort of, you know, something out of it, right? Other than just, you know, getting to help, you know, inform the younger generation, right? Which ideally should be enough. right? But I think there's just so many expectations now on the ways of living, you know, but enough about that sort of stuff. But it's people, somebody said bye, I'll see you around, cool. And then Whitewood Galaxy said, how do you inspire passion in people? Ah, okay. I think how you inspire passion in people is you literally show them what that looks like, right? Like I think you can't really talk people into being passionate about something, right? But you can show them the effects of being passionate, right? And what that does for somebody's, like, your mental, right? And what that does in a physical way as well, right? The fact that I can make objects and give people an object is a very powerful and physical thing, right? And so I think a lot of times, you know, people, you're trying to instill a passion, but it doesn't have any tangible, you know, effect on the people around you, right? And I think that's really a strong suit of ceramics, right? But really, I think you show people how to gain passion by showing them the effects of it, right? And so if that means I got to act, you know, show people how much I'm really into this stuff, right? Then that's just going to be what I'm going to have to do, right? Like I walk into my students in the morning and I say, hey, I say, good morning, ceramics. Who's in the pottery dungeon today, right? And people think I'm crazy. People think I'm insane, right? But you know what they also think? Dang, like this guy looks happy, or this guy, you know? And so I think that's how you get people to be excited, because, you know, I don't want every single student I teach to be a ceramicist, right? But what I do want them to do is find something that they can dedicate their life to, right? And I want them to show them that, you know, it can be a really positive thing depending on what you choose. Get more tradespeople and artisans to teach. Yeah, I really think so. You know, I didn't have any I didn't have a welding. Here's number 2, by the way. I didn't have any like a welding class or anything like that, right? But I can imagine if I had a teacher who, you know, really liked what they were doing, and you know, I could see that visually what it looks like. I think you can learn through just being in the presence of people, right? There's a lot of learning that happens non-verbally, you know? All right, here we go, right on the bottom. All right. Camera A. All right, here we go. Get ready to cone this up. Right down to the bottom, right underneath. Bring that up. All right, here we go. Camera B. Camera B. All right. Right? You got to have fun with the clay, right? You got to instill those moments in your process that you look forward to. You got to instill those moments, right? It's like, you know, if you ever see like some, you know, people, like some construction workers, and they're setting down cones on the sides of the roads, right? And they're doing cone flips to set them down, right? The task of setting the cones down is monotonous and it's probably brutal, right? But if you can flip them and you can play a game with your buddies on how many you can flip in a row, all of a sudden it doesn't turn into work, right? You change that into play somehow, right? And so you still keep that same level of intensity, but you've structured it differently in your mind, right? The cams are automated, or is there a person doing that? It's all voice activated, Luis Angel. So watch, I can say camera A. I can say wedging table. I can say wheel, right? And so it gives me different angles. Yeah, like by my voice. Isn't that cool? Took me a little bit to get that structure, but it's not too hard. I'm a gamer guy, and so like there's a lot of people who do it's really not that difficult. If you looked it up on YouTube, I think you could figure it out too, you know? It's not too difficult of a process. But I always say, like, I'm so proud that I was such a little computer nerd because it allows me to make these sorts of videos now. And I'm not a big computer nerd by no means, but I've realized that my power online isn't, I appreciate it, but my power online doesn't come from me like knowing the science behind everything. My power online comes from me finding out the most efficient way to find the information that I'm looking for, right? Like if I wanted to find, you know, how to, like I wouldn't type in how to, you know, how to stream on 2 things at the same time, right? Like I'm streaming on YouTube and I'm streaming on Instagram right now, right? What I would do is top 10 plugins for OBS, right? And then I'd sift through those, and maybe while I'm looking at those top 10 plugins, I find the thing that I'm looking for, and then I also might discover something else that I can very easily just stitch in, right? And so a lot of it's keeping things pretty simple enough where you can add a lot of things to it, right? I call that idea parallel projects, keeping projects really simple so you can easily add and shift the project to be the path of almost least resistance for new ideas to sort of kind of make their way into your process of making or creating content for this case, right? So here we go again, collaring this in. And look at that collar. That collar should feel like a pole, right? So look how much that I collar that in there. Okay, we got one more. Right down to the bottom. Finger right down to this bottom edge here. Look at that freaking pole. It's getting pretty thin, but finishing off that pole. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at that. Okay. All right, here we go. Camera B. Camera B. There we go. Let's get the water out of the interior there. All right, here we go. Oh no. That's gonna be kind of cool though if I can keep it. My finger buffered. Buffled. So look at how that one turned out, right? And so even though it had a weird twist there, right? Let's just stop for a second, right? And examine, okay, we missed one of the twists, but hey, we're gonna manually allow this to twist in enough to where it holds itself together. So then we can go right in on this top, create a little line, and start just beveling that stuff out, right? Kiss that rim. And look at just the way that it twists up, yo. I just love the way that looks. These ones are really tight twists these days, so doing that manual twist really changes the way that, you know, I'm looking at the pots here. Okay, opening this up. Oh, thank you. These pots are all pretty loose, you know, like here. Camera A. Pottery shelf. So I make quite a bit of them. I have, you know, 2 full rooms just completely filled with these pots too, right? And so I had to take and move furniture out to get them. You know, I've been doing it every single day for almost a year now. The year ends on July 14th. That's when I've finished a whole year of doing 3 every day and making a video every single day for them, you know? And I've gone through different stages too, right? I used to do a lot of like music edited ones. You probably see some of those on my Instagram. I have a whole entire playlist on my YouTube where I post all of them. My Instagram only gets a small amount of them, right? Okay, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring this in. Okay. Skip 1. Bring that in. Skip 1. Bring that in. Skip 1. Bring that in. So we got a 4 flower right there. This one kind of ripped, so we keep that in. Look at that. Okay. right to the bottom here. Okay, and there's our 3 for the day. So here we go. We're gonna set this one here. Oh. Alrighty, we got this one. We're gonna have this one on the top just because it's the shortest one. And bring this one, look at the way that this one's kind of falling and dipping in. I kind of like the way this one looks. It almost looks like it's dipping its hat down to greet you, you know? Okay, move this one over here. Look at that. Okay, let's get over there. Let's wipe our hands. Dang, is that a freaking image right there, y'all? Okay, here we go. Green on. Yeah. Here we go, guys. We're gonna start off with this one right over here. I think this one today, this is the one that I just finished. I think this one was the tallest. It also had kind of a mess up that became a cool element, and I did a forced twist on this. So they really got twisted up really nice and tight. I like that contrast between the bottom being a little bit wider, getting tight in that middle, and then releasing, opening on the top. That leads me into this next one. You can see that the twist is a little bit looser on this bottom section here, right? But then as it gets up towards this middle part, you can see it really likes to get tight right underneath the hat, right? And I think I really like how thin this one is, and I like when it starts to collapse, that rim starts to hold on to those little veins of the tree, so it doesn't allow it to fully collapse right there. I think that one's really beautiful. And then we got the one above us right now. The one above us, nothing too crazy on this one. A little bit more short and stocky, but you always gotta have the mundane so they can highlight the extraordinary. Thank you so much for watching. All the best. Strong mentality.